Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. Breaking news as Djokovic admits to breaking the rules on self-isolation after testing positive for COVID-19. That PCR test, we're going to go through the timeline. It's interesting. He admitted he made a mistake. However, there's a little bit of a gray area because he, for example, got the results. Well, the Department of Health said they sent him the results 8 p.m. the day before, but he said he only received the results the next day. We're going to get into the rules and also the timelines. Before we do, please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. So let's go through the timeline then. So I think it's very, very interesting what's happened here. In terms of the timeline, so 14th of December, we'll start off there. He attended that basketball game that I think most of you guys will know about. It was a EuroLeague basketball game in Belgrade between Red Star Belgrade and Barcelona. After that game, a number of people even ended up testing positive for COVID-19. So that's potentially where he could have been infected. So on the 16th of December, which is where we're saying that's when he tested positive, that's what the that's what the team, Djokovic's team, have claimed that's when he tested positive. Well, that's when he was positive anyway from. So Djokovic actually said that he took an LFT, so lateral flow test, on that day following the COVID outbreak. He said it came back negative. There's no mention, by the way, about symptoms, so I don't know whether he had symptoms or not, because obviously if you have symptoms, you're supposed to self-isolate, but I'm assuming he didn't as he went out and started doing stuff, so let's just take it as that. But obviously I have no idea 100% if that's true. So he said it came out negative, but also took a PCR test just for caution. In the court documents, Djokovic's lawyers actually submitted that evidence, and it confirmed he took a PCR test at 1 p.m. on the 16th of December. But the document from the Public Health of Serbia states that the positive result came 7 hours later, so 8 p.m. on the same day. Excuse my cough. 8 p.m. on the same day. Djokovic, however, though, says he wasn't notified about that result until the following day because there's a few instances why he would say that, but and that could be the case. I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't check his phone. Who knows? I mean, I have absolutely no idea whether he did or didn't. It's impossible to find out exactly when he found out. So it's more of a he said, she said. But I think there is concern over the fact that he was sent it at 8 p.m. the same day. Was Djokovic asleep from 8 p.m. until the next day? I don't know what his sleep schedule was like. Was his phone not on him? Did he get notes? I don't know, right? Things do get missed, but it seems, it seems unlikely to some people, which I can understand, that he wouldn't have seen it before. I don't know. It's impossible, again, as I said, to tell. Anyways, Djokovic actually attended a panel discussion and ceremony for the unveiling of a stamp in his honor in Belgrade that same day, but it was before 8 p.m. So that's kind of irrelevant. Even though he went somewhere on that same day, he hadn't got his PCR test. So technically, I think in terms of regulations, he's not breaking any rules there because it was posted on Twitter the next day. So that's fine. He's not wearing a mask there. But again, doesn't need to. It wasn't part of the regulations. And even if he had seen the notification at 8 p.m. that day, he wasn't breaking any rules. Now, this is where it gets sticky for him because on the morning of the 17th of December, the Tennis Association of Belgrade posted on Facebook about an award ceremony at the Novak Tennis Center in Belgrade, which was happening later that day. So Djokovic at this point, from what he said, he knew that he was positive, and we're going to go through that as well just now. So they said the trophy would be handed over to the young talent by the favorite tennis player of this region and beyond. So there's a picture of him actually with his arm around another person. He's got a younger player, no mask on, etc. And a series of pictures were posted in that vein. Before attending the event, Djokovic said he produced another negative LFT test and he was asymptomatic and felt good. It was after the event that Mr. Djokovic said he received the notification that his PCR was positive. At this point, he should have begun 14 days of isolation. So in his eyes, or in his view anyway, which if that's the case, then I can understand, he's saying, well, actually, even then, that event, I only got the notification, say the evening of the 17th, even though the Public Health Institute are saying that he actually got the notification evening of the 16th, that same day. So let's just say that he's correct, right, and he's saying the truth on everything, which he could be, then fine. So those two events, the award ceremony and also the stamp, are fine, right? As in, he's not at fault there because he wasn't aware he was positive at that point. Where it gets really, really sticky now, this is where it's pretty much irrefutable because he admitted it. It was reported by French newspaper L'Equipe that Mr. Djokovic attended an interview and photo shoot with the paper in Belgrade on 18th of December. He has since admitted attending the engagement, which he says was an error of judgment and I accept I should have rescheduled. So he knew he was positive at this point, but he still went to the interview with L'Equipe. And the Serbian Prime Minister said that this was a clear breach of the rules if Mr. Djokovic continued with public events knowing he had COVID, which it would be, right? I mean, I think that's pretty much everyone's rules, that if you test positive at PCR, you shouldn't be going out at all. You should be self-isolating. The paper says he wore a face mask during the interview but removed it for the photo shoot, which there's a picture of. He posed with the newspaper's Champion of Champions trophy, an award which recognizes the outstanding sports person of the year. Following this engagement, Mr. Djokovic says he cancelled all other events and isolated for the required period. So this is the issue, right? So he went to that shoot. So this is something that's irrefutable. This is a fact. He went to that shoot when he knew he was positive because he has corroborated that. The issue is I guess the events before, but either way, he's still broken the guidelines, right? Whether he's done it once or twice or three times, depending on what you believe, it doesn't matter. He's still done it once. This is an issue because obviously Mr. Hawke, the immigration officer in Australia, is still able to cancel his visa, and this is now becoming, like more and more information is coming out, and it's becoming very, very complicated. Apparently, then on the 22nd, he got a negative PCR test, which is fine. But Serbian COVID regulations stipulate a full 14-day self-isolation period unless the person who has tested positive receives a negative PCR test result during that period, which he did. But it's interesting. On the 25th, he was there, but that's not really an issue if he was aware of his negative LFT. So, yeah, I mean, this is just very, very interesting. I'm not going to go into the other timeline, or the continued timeline into where we're at now. We know what's happened since he's come to Australia beforehand, and also the evidence brought forward. This is not damning, but it's definitely, as he said, an error in judgment. Whether he will be punished by, again, being deported, we have to wait and see. They did say that they'd make a decision on Monday. It's now Tuesday, it's now Wednesday even. So I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Let's see. I would imagine if they do make a decision, it'll be quite swift. So I'd imagine we'll find out in the next 24 hours, you'd hope, especially if, it's coming so close to the Australian Open starting on Monday. What do you guys think, though? Do you think, I think a lot of people are on the side of, well, it's messy for everyone. Obviously, if he had been double vaccinated, then he would be able to play. But again, like, it's a personal preference. The way that he's been treated is not great. And if they were going to say, yeah, everyone has to be double vaccinated, they should have stuck to their guns across all different, regulators and governments and boards and committees, etc., which they didn't do. And they clearly didn't handle it in the correct situation. But the issue now has arisen that he's admitted to wrongdoing. Is this relevant to this case or relevant to them having a case to deport him? Or they could say, well, in the past, you've had instances where you have not abided by the isolation rules. How can we expect you to do it here if you test positive? That's what they might say. They could also just say, okay, you made an error, but you don't have it anymore. Okay, fine, we allow you in. So let's see. It's very, very interesting. Let me know what you think they should do. What do you think they will do? What do you think they should do? What are your opinions as well? Are you surprised that Djokovic broke the rules? Do you think that when he got, notified of it, as he says, which was a day later than what the Public Health Institute says, is correct? Do you think that's actually when he was aware, or do you think he was aware earlier? Let me know. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Smash the notification button. We're going to be doing a lot of Australian Open coverage, live watch-alongs, commentary, previews, draw previews, reviews of each day. Keep an eye out. It should be great. See you guys soon. Thank you.